Good morning. For the Koreans who doesn't have very deep understanding on the settlers of northern countries, I think it's very good to start with the definition of the word Viking. The Vikings are the seafaring Scandinavians from 8th to 10th century who raided the northern and western part of Europe. So the Vikings entered by force to others' territory in order to steal and rob the goods and the necessities that they needed at the time. How about in Iceland? Were the first settlers warriors? No, the most popular or the most familiar figure of the first settlers will be the Ingólfur Arnarson. Ingólfur Arnarson came from Norway, but he was a farmer. He was fortunate enough to have his own land, and also he had enough fortune to have own a ship for seafaring adventures. So Ingólfur Arnarson came twice to Iceland. First trip was to for the purpose of research to see if the environment is good enough for his people. And the second trip, he brought his people with him. So the year is believed to be around 870. Even though I mentioned that Ingvar Arnason was a warrior, rather, but a farmer, there is a very good twist into this story. The recent research, the DNA research, shows that the very first 65% of the very first female settlers in Iceland were actually not Norwegians, but the British people, compared to 75% of males were Norwegian. So what does this mean? This means that the women who were married to Norwegians were actually taken from their homeland. So even though Ingvar Arnason was quite peaceful man in terms of he was a farmer, he had this background of being a Viking and the taking advantage of the invade that the Vikings had. There are also quite good story with Ingvar Arnason. Ingvar Arnason had a younger brother who treated his slaves very badly, the Irish people, and his brother was got killed by Irish people. And just like the good brother and the evil brother from the Roman foundation myth, the famous Romulus and Remus story. Ingólfur Arnason killed the murderers of his brother and did the righteous revenge for him.